It looks like Brandao just gave his leg one good big slap and then a flex. Hello, everyone. Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and this is a fan request from you, the viewer. Rafael Brandao, 2022 Olympia versus Ramon Dino, 2023 Olympia, where he took second place in the men's classic physique division. Brandao, he got an awesome spot. He got 10th place. And if you guys remember, last year's Olympia was stacked. Now, I can see why you guys picked this one. These two dudes, fellow Brazilian brothers. They're not brothers, but they're both Brazilians, and they're friends. So, I'm sure they're like brothers. Here is the first shot. We have the front double. And I can hear you guys now. But Mark's Max Muscle, the sizing is way off. You are crazy. They're about the same height. I'm sure that Brandao's a little bit taller, but I've seen videos of them working out together, and it is very hard to say. But one thing is for sure, the way they are standing, the stance of Ramon Dino, he's bending at the knees, substantially proper, and he looks proper. Now Brandao, he is going to be bigger. He's going to tip the scale a little bit more so, I would imagine, than Dino. But as I look at these two guys, it looks like Ramon Dino would have an edge, I would suggest, in this front double. I think his arms are maybe better. And like I said, the way he's holding the shot, awesome. Here's the next shot. Now this shows you realistically how big Rafael Brandao, or Rafael Brandao, whatever you prefer, how big he is. If they were on the scale, like his leg itself, yeah, Ramon's got some good wheels, but I mean, imagine if you hacked it off and threw it on a scale there. You can see the thickness, thick of Brandao's wheels, and hey, he worked diligently on those wheels to put on the size to fit in with the open class. And I would suggest most certainly Rafael Brandao getting a point back here if you were going to hand him a loss in the first one. Side tricep. Interesting. They're both doing not the Mannion pose. This is the one that against the Mannion position, the opposite. This is the classical way, I guess. And Brandao surprises me in the feathering, in them quads, or at least one of them. And Dino, not as good in that aspect. Like I said, you chop them legs off and Brandao's going to be a much heavier guy. Midsection, though, Ramon Dino, awesome. Who would the Brazilians get mad at if I was, not picking one of their guys? Because the other guys, I'm sure they're favored. Here is the back shot. This, in terms of me, this would be like me voting for Antoine Vaillant versus Regan Grimes, two Canadian brothers, And of course, two open class competitors. But this is not the case. These are open versus classic. And if you pan back, harder to see if you really zoom in. But you got to do both. You got to zoom in. Then if you pan back, you can really see the size Brandao has. He has an advantage on that aspect, but size is not everything, or for the layman, size ain't it everything. Ain't. That's somewhat of a word. I guess it depends on who you're asking. I mean, to some people, zing-da-da-ding-ding, zing-da-da-ding-ding, zing-zing-zing-zing-zing is a word. Yeah, condition-wise, hamstrings, it looks like there's a lot of good polish on Brandao. But glutes, I guess you could say, Dino. Here's the abs and thigh. Big quad. You can see that. Like I mentioned, quads bigger, thicker for Rafael Brandao, but worth to mention, calves going to Dino. Calves and forearms. Well, Rafael Brandao's forearms are pretty good. Calves, though, awesome. Abs, I always say that Brandao, he needs a little bit more separation in those abs. I could imagine if he had to cut weight to classic, how peeled Pizzizzled. His abs would get unreal. Could be a genetic thing, though. I mean, the guy's pretty peeled, as is. And that about does it, guys. I think that if these guys were live on stage beside each other, I think the size of Brandao would take over. I think that he would probably get an edge. Although, if Ramon Dino didn't have to cut weight, he'd be that much bigger, and you'd be surprised. Of course, they are allowed a little bit more weight now. I did actually do the comparison from last year's Dino, but it's going to be much different. Ramon Dino, he's allowed 10 more pounds, or whatever it would be. I don't know if it's 10 pounds. Sometimes I speak loose. These loose lips. Horse MD. That'd be a good one, too. Versus Brandao. Huh? Anybody? Yeah, well, this is a good one, too. And a good idea. One more to finish up your You Pick 2 Tuesday lineup. And then we move on to Fan Request Friday. Brandao, like I said, maybe give him an edge. But I wouldn't call you foolish for giving Ramon Dino the edge here. Due to the six-pack. That front double, he was looking some good. Some good indeed.
Well, come on, subscribe to my channel, please, if you have not already. And if you would like to, check out my latest video as well. And there is a playlist if you want to really help me out. You could watch a bunch of videos as well. Have a great one, ladies and gentlemen. Well, come on, Billy!